How's it going, guys? I'm N7Kate and this is a new video game review. This one is on the new Valiant Hearts The Great War from Ubisoft Montpellier. I had a blast playing this game, so here are some of my thoughts on it. I found this amazing puzzle adventure game to be a refreshing change of pace. When so many war-based games like Call of Duty or Battlefield show war as an exciting thrill ride, Valiant Hearts takes a much more somber stance and explores instead the terrible physical and psychological effects of war. It's this stance that really makes this game unique and sets it apart. Set during World War I, it tells the story of 5 people: Emile, a peace-loving, simple French farmer; Freddie, a muscled and energetic American soldier who looks and acts like Mr. T's cousin, Pretty the Fool; Anna, the brave and independent Belgian nurse; Walt the dog, once owned by a German soldier that becomes our loyal companion throughout the game; and finally Karl, a young German man who was torn away from his French wife and unborn child, deported and forcefully conscripted into the German army. All these characters' stories during the course of the game become interconnected, and they bond in their common mission to save Karl and reunite him with his family. We follow their stories from the start of the war in 1914 until its end in 1918. We experience some of the biggest battles World War I has to offer, including the Somme, Verdun and Vimy Ridge. We also witness the horrors of the war and the terrible effect of new weapons like tanks, machine guns and mustard gas. And it's thanks to the wonderful art style, music and writing that we find ourselves really caring about their story and connected to the characters in a way that I haven't experienced since Mass Effect 3. Interestingly, there is very little voice acting in this game, so I was surprised that I was so moved by the story and attached to its main characters. But I guess that is a testament to the team behind Valiant Hearts. The story is written so well, and the comic book style artwork, sound effects and music all combine in such a way that makes the story both gripping and fulfilling. I'm not ashamed to admit that at the end of the game, I cried. And not many games have achieved that, I can tell you. There were, however, moments of levity in the game that were perfectly balanced and made me laugh out loud. One of my favourite moments in the game was in the middle of Chapter 1, when we find ourselves driving down a French road, German airplanes in pursuit, and dodging bombs and bullets to the strings of the can-can. Ah! Moments of levity like this help to balance the game and give us a nice respite from the more somber tone that runs throughout. The only criticism I have for the story writers is that the main villain, Baron von Dorf, is a sausage-eating, beer-drinking caricature. His actions and character are so over the top, they appear comical and cliched. He's the evil villain that we all love to hate, and there is no real motivation for his actions other than that he is evil and bent on killing every innocent in his path. It smacks of oversimplification, which is a shame when the rest of the story is written with such complexity and grey areas. It's a shame then that the main villain should be so one-dimensional and black and white. The gameplay of Valiant Hearts is fun, albeit not overly challenging. It employs the usual puzzle-solving elements that we would expect. Pull this lever, turn that dial, find this part, follow these steps to progress through the level. Still, the puzzle-solving elements are fresh and fun enough to keep the game varied and engaging. For the history buff among you, there is a wealth of historical knowledge available to you in snippets of historical data and codexes, but their presentation is rather bland and screams of Encarta 97. They're also regularly thrust in your face, and you really have very little choice but to read them, as these historical snippets are not available at the end of a chapter or in the main menu. If you're like me, while I love to read codexes, I tend to save some time and spend maybe an hour reading through them all, rather than breaking up my gameplay experience. Sadly, that's not really an option here. For those treasure hunters among you, there are over 100 collectibles to be found, each with its own backstory to keep you interested. Overall, Valiant Hearts is an excellent game, and I would give it 8.5 out of 10. It's not perfect, but it's certainly an enjoyable ride. Valiant Hearts is available on all platforms, including next gen and PC, and will cost you $11.99. The game takes about 5 hours to complete, but with all the content and enjoyable experiences that you're sure to get from it, it's well worth the price tag, and I highly recommend it. So, have any of you played Valiant Hearts, and what did you think of it? Comment below and let me know. Alright, have a great day guys and girls, and I'll catch you later. Bye!
Yeah.